What is going on, guys? Today we've got Prime Zambrotta, the 89 rated Italian right back, a 4-star, 5-star, and his base starts off an incredible right back in the game, and the Prime only exceeds that. We do have 3 other versions, obviously his base. We then have his mid, that is probably the lesser version of all of them. We have the World Cup card, which literally has no real big upgrade, to be honest. Even from this version, you're basically just getting +1s across the board, bar from physicality. You get nothing, and you get a +2 on the dribbling. In terms of the positions, you obviously have the right back, right wing back, and also left back, and stats are very, very good. In terms of the traits, we have none, and in terms of his SBC, we'll have a look in a second. But pace, fantastic. Obviously got a bit of dribbling. Agility balance could do with some work, but I'm pretty sure in game he will be absolutely fine. Good amount of passing, and the defending and physical will go up nicely. If you are looking at this card with an anchor, you'd end up with 94 pace, 93 defending, and 91 physical, turning him into a 92 rated right back. Now the SBC, a little bit more than Hadji, obviously. You do start off again with the bronze and silver 11. Very, very simple. We then have the 83 with a Juventus, 84 with a Milan, we have an 85 with one team of the week or foot champs, 85 with a Serie A, 86 and 87. Again, a little bit expensive for Zambrotta. I honestly thought they could probably chop off the 87 and it'd be fine, but his market price is still 600,000 coins, so he is not necessarily a cheap icon nonetheless, but an easy one to grind through, to be honest. Nothing really too crazy. I just think 2 85s, an 86 and an 87 might be a little bit too expensive for this card. Personally, a lot of people more than likely have their right back they're more than comfortable with. So it's an interesting one nonetheless. I think the 86 or 87's definitely got to go, but we still grind with it. That's the SBC. Let's have a look in game. Are you tired of using players like this? I would much rather have teams more like this. Then I recommend going over to skycoach.gg for all of your coaching and coins needs. They are cheap, fast and reliable, but at the checkout make sure you are using code JT11 for a discount on your orders. Back to the video. Zambrotta watching his position nicely, and it's a great take from the Italian there. Brings it all the way through, and we do get on this attack. Zambrotta watching this wing. Guri coming across, nice, good reactions there. Again, he's leading us astray. As long as we don't let him go in, that's more than fine. That is a perfect right back. We've maybe overshot him a little bit, but we've done well with the centre backs there. They've been able to keep in position purely from the fact that he has obviously done the movement nicely, and we're straight on this attack here. Can we get it across? That's a little bit too much, but we get the free kick anyway. Zambrotta, beautiful challenge. Can he get the second? Guri's managed to go across. So far, he's done exactly what I thought he would do. A very, very good right back. Like I say, a little bit expensive if you haven't already got him untradeable, but I do think he is worth the cost if you haven't got your long-term right back. If you've got a stand-in at the moment, he definitely won't disappoint going forward. And also with that defensive capabilities, we can see where it's all about. We can see the pace here. Already absolutely fantastic to get into position. Obviously, you won't overcommit him like I'm kind of doing here, but it's just to kind of get the emphasis of him on the ball and obviously making challenges, making moves, everything you need to know. Obviously, it would be more kind of little bit far in between with obviously a normal right back, because you wouldn't necessarily be really housing him to go up the pitch so much. I don't normally do overlaps, but it's definitely not how you do it like that. But obviously I'm trying to overestimate how well he is on the ball going forward and defending. And also it's some people's game style to overlap. Personally for me it's not, just purely for the fact that if he was to get tackled here, if we don't get that ball right, which we did manage to, obviously it's going to lead. That is a cracking ball. It's going to lead to him coming down that side and having no cover there whatsoever. Good tackle again. Getting a little bit of skills on the go as well. Just having the 4-star, 5-star is always... Ooh, okay, that's bad. But it's always nice on a right back. Like, it's not necessarily needed, and I definitely wouldn't put somebody down for not necessarily having the skills. But if you do use them, and sometimes you can kind of use them to get out of more drastic, sticky situations, then obviously you're gonna use them. So it's more of a benefit to have them. The weak foot's always nice as well. I think that is a common one that I do like to have a 4-star weak foot at a minimum, and it's where personally Roberto Carlos on the other side does fall down that little bit with only a 3-star. Coming across again, great challenge, absolutely bodies Guri. And again, he knows he's not got any luck against him. He's done absolutely fantastic. He's got up and down the pitch there. Can we get another pace in there? Little swing behind. It's a great cross, but it's just a bit too close to the keeper. And again, lovely stuff from Zambrotta. Keeps the ball in our motion. And it leads us to this break as we find the keeper. It's a little dink. It's a miss. And it's a goal for Mbappe. And again, he's going to try it one more time. The pace. It's beautiful. Oh, I made a mistake there. I was jockeying a little bit, but the great catch up from him. We know full well where he wants to go, and he has done so well. Obviously, a lot of that can be down to defensive ability. If you're not necessarily incredible at jockeying people, then that is going to be a case. Oh, I thought he left that. But in general, you know that he can do it. That's the big thing with this. It's not necessarily your level of defending. You just know that he's going to do it. Zambrotta's SBC price coming in at 570 at this moment in time as well. I think that, again, it is kind of surprising. We know that his actual transfer price at the moment is about 600, which obviously is no inflation or deflation from actually the card being live. I don't think it's had time to do that. So it's interesting to see where that transfer price kind of goes, because it can either go really south, which means the SBC kind of looks a little bit worse because of the price. That is a great catch-up on Messi. We know full well that he's not wanting to go forward, but it's a great ball through from the inside player. Zambrotta has got Haaland's number. He's got Messi's as well, and it's a great layoff as well. Oh, Zambrotta gets a bit of beautifulness. Oh, Varane with an outstretched leg that just managed to get that ball. Otherwise, that is absolutely through. Definitely needed that second, but Virgil has bailed him out in that one. The paced element is just absolutely phenomenal from Zambrotta. Really does well getting up and down that wing, which is absolutely perfect from him. So going into the overall for Zambrotta then. So if we refresh the card and just have a look, we've got 601k on the transfer market at the moment. He may have actually already dropped a little bit, purely for the fact that we did have him leaked yesterday, in fact. So in terms, okay, yeah, there you can see there. When was that? The 7th. Yeah, so that was yesterday. So he was 730k. So realistically, we have already had a big drop from him that he was coming out. So he may not drop more than that. In terms of the SBC price, we've got 572 now. Like I say, in terms of its price, I just think one was too many. I think judging from these SBCs, maybe getting rid of one of the 85s, purely for the fact that he will drop a little bit of price now. And I think 570 is far too close to this. Granted, we did see it with a lot of players. With Jarzinho, he was about 1 million coins and now he's way over. But I don't know if we're going to have a double down like we did there. A lot of players did increase in price suddenly over the course of like a couple of weeks, and they've kept that price now, whereas I think Zambrotta's in the middle of it. It's in the mix. But in terms of the SBC, it is grindable. You've got it until the 26th of May, I think that is. It's a long time. You've got like 78 days to get him done. Should be able to grind it out if you really wanted him. Most of the SBCs are pretty standard. It's the 87 that might take a few special cards if you're not granted going for all of the gold cards out of it. The anchor itself is nice. I do think if you are looking in comparison to obviously the base, it is a little bit annoying because if we have a look here and go for the base card of him, they are very similar in a lot of aspects. Even just looking at the start, we've got the 87 pace, so we've got a free increase on the prime, but we are looking at a 400k difference if we are looking at the transferred price. The biggest thing for Zambrotta now is the fact that he is obviously untradableness. You can obviously do that. What we got, 84 passing, a 2 increase, a 3 increase on the dribbling, only 2 on defending and 1 physical. If you are going for a tradable card version of this, in fact, that's not even the base of him. That's the mid. I want the base. Oh, it's because it's underneath. Even better. So we've got 1 extra pace on this. Okay, that makes more sense then. So we've lost to 6 defending. I was thinking, I know the price is a little bit similar now. That makes more sense. But again, even so, I still think looking at the difference, you go for a shadow or something, I think losing out on a couple of physical is not going to hurt him that much. Passing is still only a +2 and dribbling's now a +1. that's where, for me, it's all dependent on how you're getting it done. Tradable or untradeable. If we're looking at the best right backs in the game, that obviously adds a different element because we don't necessarily need icons in that stage. Obviously, Hakimi's going to be number one in that aspect until Team of the Season's out, most definitely. Cafu is one of the better icons, same as Alberto. We do have a Team of the Year Zanetti, but I do prefer that one in CDM, if I'm being honest. We then have Llorente, who is upgradable in his own fashion with a foot fantasy, but again, I do feel like people will go more of a centre mid with him. Then you're looking at the Kyle Walkers, and you think of the price difference, 560k compared to a mil. You are getting a solid card back, to be honest. It's a bit more than obviously his World Cup, so I think in terms of price, actually, compared to what we're looking at right this second, because we can't judge in a month's time or 2 time, because it will be cheaper. He's going to be cheaper. There'll be more right backs out. It'll be later on in the game. It will just naturally downgrade in price. It's about the right now. Personally, I have a Phenoms Hakimi. This card, even though it's probably better, maybe to some extent, is not really going to offer too much for my team personally to put 570 in there. If the right back's the last position you need, by all means, it's not a bad SBC to grind out, obviously using the League SBC method and just constantly doing the upgrades, foot champs, rivals, the standards. You should get it done relatively quickly. Overall wise, I'd give him a solid 9. I think in terms of icon, Cafu, Alberto are the main 2 that would overtake him in my eyes. Other than that, I think he's got a little bit of free reign there. Let me know what you think though. Let me know if you've got him or obviously you are trying to do him. Make sure you like and subscribe and check out the Hadja review coming very shortly. Take care. Peace. Check out the video on screen.